What's up everyone, welcome to another video, and for today's video I collected some of the questions that I got on Facebook, Instagram and also YouTube. So let's start with the first question. So for this question I have bad news for you, because when it comes to calves, they seem to be the only body part where it's pretty much 95% genetics. So you either have big calves or you don't. It's simply genetics, you can't change it. Because I've seen so many people with huge calves. I mean, they're gigantic, and they're either not even training them or they're only training them with like 1 or 2 sets a week. And it's the same with me. I'm not saying that I have huge calves, but my calves are pretty big and I've pretty much always have them. That's the only leftover that is good of me being fed as a teenager, because you have to walk on them all day, and of course if you're overweight you will have to move more weight. So take me and my brother for example. We have the same mother, same father. Me, I always had big calves and they pretty much stayed like this, and they grew because I progressed, I trained them, I got stronger on them. My brother, who trains the same way as I am, he's also beating the shit out of them, but they just don't seem to respond. So my answer to you would be, train them as hard as you can, but really don't pay too much attention to them, because you can't change it if your genetics sucks. If your genetics suck. So what you should do, or what I would do in your situation, try high reps with low weight, try really heavy weight with low reps, hitting them every other day, hitting them just pretty much with everything you know, and see if they respond. If they don't, you just have to work with what you have. Alright guys, so number 2 on the list. So is a calorie a calorie? Yeah, now when it comes to IFYM, a calorie is a calorie, just because your body can't tell the difference. If, let's say, your carbs are coming from either brown rice or from a Pop-Tart, it's the same thing. Your body can't tell the difference. In your stomach, it's all the same thing. Now, the exception to this rule is fiber, because there are different types of fiber. Your body, there's insoluble fiber, so fiber that your body can't digest. Then there's fiber with like 1 calorie per gram, and there's other types of fiber with 1.5 calories per grams of fiber. So you see, even though fiber counts towards carbs when you're doing IFYM, but there's still a calorie difference. So yes, a calorie is a calorie, but fiber is kind of the exception. But I will still count it towards your carb intake, but be aware that if you're eating a lot of fiber one day and then way less fiber the other day, calories might change. So let's get to the third question. The answer is yes and no. If you have really good genetics, you can pretty much build a pretty good physique by only doing bodyweight movements, so pull-ups, push-ups, all that good stuff. But for the majority of people, so for the mainstream, it isn't possible. You will at some point have to introduce more resistance in form of more weight. Otherwise you won't grow. Because I've actually met one guy at the Arnold Expo. He actually was in the same hostel as me, and he's exclusively doing bodyweight stuff. I mean, he only weighs like 150 pounds, but he's like ripped to shreds and he has a really decent body. I mean, he has a beautiful physique to look at. So he's kind of the exception, because he has great genetics. He can do that, but for most people it's just not feasible, so I wouldn't try it. Alright, so I know I've been in the same situation. I've lifted weights. I think I started the first time at 16. I did it for like 1 to 2 months, and then everybody was telling me, no, don't do it, because it will first of all fuck up your joints, and it will stunt your growth. And for me, getting as tall as I possibly could was my goal. So I pretty much stopped weightlifting totally. And I started back at 18 because I thought I'm not growing anymore anyways, so let's start weightlifting again. And in my opinion, I wouldn't start doing heavy exercises until you are 18, or at least you're pretty much reached your potential when it comes to your vertical growth. Because if you're doing it wrong, you can injure some of your the growth plates, and you can do a lot of damage, especially because your joints and ligaments aren't fully developed yet. So in my opinion, if you're like 14, 15, 16, you can always do bodyweight stuff. So pull-ups, chin-ups, also push, how are they called? Chin-ups and also push-ups. So do bodyweight stuff. It's always great to kind of get your body used to the stimulus of building muscle and also just being overall a fit person. But I wouldn't start really lifting heavy under the age of like 17 or 18. That's just my opinion. Alright guys, so this was it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and it helped you. If it did, please show me your support by liking it, and I will talk to all of you in the next one. Jerem Gaines, peace out.